one in the box, Jazzy Marie.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Definitely, I do apologize, Jazzy, because yesterday,
No, it's okay.
yeah, he did not send me a flyer, and I get it. He's on vacation, he's doing his thing, so
Thank you.
so I didn't know whether he booked people for the show because he was on vacation or not. So he didn't tell me about 12, and then I told him, well, if you don't have anyone booked, only book one person.
Right.
Okay. So he was like, you didn't confirm. So I told him to just book one person because we do got some things to do. But I'm glad you did still show up and stuff like that. And well, I'm gonna just cut to the chase before we waste any time, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
Jazzy, real quick, I typically start by asking what brought you to the app, but I might start by asking you, where you from?
I'm from Chicago originally.
From Chicago. So
Yeah, Illinois, the Windy City.
let's go. So did you lived there your whole life?
Moved to Atlanta when I was about 11. So, yeah.
Okay. And,
I'm more
and
of a
now
Southern girl at heart.
are you are you back in Chicago now?
No, I'm actually in Alabama. So I'm still down south, just,
Oh, okay.
next door.
Got you. So when did you download the app? Are you on POF or BOK?
I'm on POF. And I'd say I downloaded the app probably a little sometime after the pandemic. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in that time frame, maybe 2022, something like that.
Got you. So you downloaded the app back in 2022.
Hmm.
Uh, and what made you download that?
Well, of course, like many, I was on here for dating. I didn't even know it was a streaming site. And then yeah, so that's how I started. And then of course I stumbled into the streaming site, like, what is this? Okay. And came into a few streamers that I did like, you know what I mean, to hang around. So yeah.
Got you. What state of mind were you in when you decided to download the app? Because it is a dating app, right? So
Right.
were you in Alabama when when you downloaded the app? Where were you living at?
So no, I was actually in North Carolina. I was there for a little while. Due to the army, I was in the military, and that was my last duty station prior to me getting out. And so, still a little lonely. Didn't have any friends or family nearby. So of course, come onto the app, see what's out here.
Got you. That listen, I understand that. So you moved around a lot being in the
Yeah,
military. What branch?
army.
Army. So you were in the army. You were stationed in North Carolina. And how did you hear about the app?
I've been heard about the app, like, POF's been around for a while. So I've been heard
Mhm.
about the app. I just didn't get too interested until a little after the pandemic. Once again, because the whole world was locked down. I wasn't going out. I didn't have anybody in an area like that anymore. Military friends come and go. So by that time, it's just me on the Lone Island. So I'm like, let me see, let me try a couple of different things. I downloaded a BOK, a POF. I was just out here. you know?
It's like one of the apps gonna hit.
Right. Somebody.
And did it hit for you?
Not on the dating side, not too much. Not really.
It sounds like you got a story to tell about that.
I mean, I've had some interesting characters on these apps, honey child. That's all I'm gonna say. And just, be careful, y'all, because people be crazy.
Now,
Okay.
when you met some people, was it on the dating side or maybe the live side?
Now, later down the line, after me getting into streaming myself, at first I started as a supporter. Bob, I was in his live at one point, heavy, and then Team Justin, he was a big person for me. That really kind of got me to transition into streaming myself. So I met other streamers, and of course, you get a little streamer boost, and yeah, I actually dated and relocated for someone.
Mm,
Shortly after starting streaming. So maybe like 6 months into it. And that's what brought me here to Alabama. So, that did not work out, unfortunately. So, yeah. And I came back after that. I took a little break, try to be respectful of the relationship. aspect. And now I'm back, full throttle, you know.
Okay, so let's get into it. This is interesting, right?
Oh Lord.
So you said all right, we're gonna go way back because we're gonna get there. We're gonna get back there. I want to know
Okay.
more your background before we get to the people you dated and the things you tried on the app, right? Um,
Right.
Paint a picture for us. Let us know where you was born. We know you said you was born in Chicago, right? But who you was raised by, who you was raised by, how many people were in the home with you?
Okay, so I am the youngest of three children. My mom, she pretty much raised us with the help of her side of the family, my grandmother, great grandmother, and uncles and all those people. So yeah, it was just me and my siblings. We all have the same dad. He was kind of pop in, pop out kind of thing,
Right.
and still the same to this day. Well, so yeah, that's pretty much how I came up.
Okay.
It was just
Three. You said three other siblings, boys, girls.
so it's me. I'm the youngest, and it's three of us.
Okay.
My sister is the oldest, and then I have my brother in the middle, and then it's me.
Got you. How was it growing up in a home with your mother and her side of the family?
Um, it was our little family. We had great times. I would say we were very close knit. The ones that were around. Um, it could be chaotic at sometimes too, especially being the youngest of three from a single mom, and she's trying to do it out here by herself. So that was sometimes tough. I guess you could
Right.
say, we did not have it made. When my mom first separated from my dad, we actually lived in a shelter. So, we
Oh,
started there, transitioned to the projects and so on and so forth. So I've always admired my mother's drive and things of that nature, what I'm saying, to elevate herself. And that's kind of what I like to embody, what I'm saying, that how to give that hard working kind of ethic. And so, yeah, eventually we ended up relocating to Georgia. So there was no family, really so different beside the immediate family that was in the home. My sister did have kids young. So I feel like as the youngest, I feel like a lot of things that my siblings did kind of rolled down to me. And it's just like, hey, I didn't even do anything.
right.
So that was kind of rocky, just being the youngest and having to live in my sibling's shadow a little bit in some sense. So yeah, I feel
Did that
like
bother you?
you said, did it bother me?
Yeah, feeling like you had to live in her shadow.
Yeah, it essentially did, which is kind of, I feel like, how I came into a lot of issues as a teenager when I, hit that age myself. My sister, she actually had kids very young at 15. She had the first child, second one by 17. So naturally, being the next girl, my mom was like, on me like right on rice. So
Yeah. Better not
I
be
couldn't
having
breathe. Right. And so by that time, both of them had left the house. So that was a whole nother dynamic that I wasn't used to, just being the only child now. I'm the baby. I've always been
kids.
used to having a sibling or somebody telling me what to do, looking after me, whatever the
Right.
case is. So it's like trying to find my individuality in my voice. In a sense, I dealt with a lot of depression. I actually tried to take my life around that age of 16, and that kind of sparked a lot of things, thankfully, through the court systems, and I got therapy and so on and so forth, with my mom and the family dynamic. And yeah, so
Got you. Got you. How was you and your mom's relationship at that time?
well, it was really trying, and that's why I say it was really essential, I think, for us to learn how to communicate effectively. You know what I mean? I feel like when it
What
comes to children, I don't have any yet. You have to parent each child differently.
differently?
Your children will have different personalities, etc. So what my sister may need a strict look whip down, I was okay with talking. Please talk to me.
Right.
And so we didn't really have that, especially with me dealing with adult hormones coming into adulthood, you know what I mean? But still in a kid's body, the way my mind perceives things, that was really difficult for us. But that therapy, essentially, I'm so grateful for it because, me and my mom are like this now. I actually just moved her down from Texas in June to stay with me here. So, yeah.
Quick question: when you say therapy, and I'm glad,
Mhm.
see, that's why I'm glad you came and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Because these are things like that other people, and this is why I do this, that other people go through. Okay,
Right.
what when you say therapy, was it an individual therapy or was it a family therapy thing?
Both. So I had individual therapy for just me. It's when I learned I had a little bit of anger management I needed to work on, just different traits that I needed to work on for me, learning how not to bottle things up and express myself because I didn't really know how to do that. And then also with me and my mom, learning how to communicate with each other. So that was a whole different dynamic. And I had a stepdad at the time too. My mom married a whole African. She went to Nigeria, got her African honey. So we included him in that too because essentially his culture and the way he go at raising kids is much different than how she would, and he was a big part of my life. So he was a part of that as
Was he
well.
pop you? How did he go about raising kids?
Oh yeah, because in their culture they just beat the kids, ask questions later.
Right.
So he was just like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with these American kids?" He was traumatized.
Don't worry, in the Caribbean culture, we do the same thing. So,
Yes. So bless that man because I know me and my siblings gave him a run for his money and he still stuck around. So shout out to him. For real.
that's funny.
But yes,
Okay, so you
definitely.
said you had an issue, so you had an issue following in the footsteps of your older siblings because you felt like you didn't have an identity, and then you struggled with finding that identity after they left,
Left.
right? So
Mhm.
how were you able to balance that out after a while? Was it after therapy?
I feel like it was a mixture of both. Just me learning how to effectively communicate myself and deal with my own emotions, which allows me essentially to make better friendships and relationships. And I met my best friend around that age, and I would say he's a big factor of pulling my character out. Like he was really book smart, but on the outside of school, it's just like, oh wow, he taught me so many different things. Like, oh, there's boys. What? Oh, there's this. Oh, we go to the mall on the weekends. What? And that's
Right.
just not things that I was used to doing, coming up.
Mm.
And so for me, that just kind of brought me out of my shell more, gave me more of a voice. Like, yeah.
Can you go in a little bit into detail of before therapy what your behavior was? Give us some things that happened that you knew, like, okay, when you look at it now, like, I shouldn't have been doing that.
Right. Well, honestly, I feel like it was just a lot of learned behavior. A lot like Cash was saying previously, when it came to school, I was quiet, but I would just do things that I learned from my brother prior to him dropping out. And so I just mimicked certain things. And when he was gone, I just thinking like, oh, that's okay, skipping class, being in all the lunches or going to smoke weed and things like that looked cool to me because me and my brother were like this. Okay. I was his shadow. So essentially, anything he did, I was trying to follow after it. And so I just didn't feel like I had the right kind of mindset. But initially, some of the things that me and my mom would clash about would be things that I wouldn't even be doing because she was more so thinking I was more like my sister, going to get the
Mm.
baby early and not like my brother
Right,
skipping class. And so she's thinking I'm out here messing with boys, and I ain't even looked at a boy,
right.
yet, and so I feel
So
like that
what
essentially
was your,
made me act out more. Mhm.
ask you, what was your communication? Was it yelling, or like describe a time and how it sounds to you, like from your perspective as a child, how her communication, how it affected you?
So, my mama would before the therapy and all that kind of stuff. She was a hands-on mama. She
Ow!
believed this best better rise for that child. So it was like beat the child, ask the question later too. You know what I mean? She didn't want to say back, no lip, none of that kind of stuff. And essentially for me, I felt like I had even less of a voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't have a voice with my siblings. I don't have a voice here. I don't have a voice so a long time. I just didn't say anything. And once again, I would just act out more. You know what I mean?
Were you the
Opposed.
talk that type though?
I would try to explain. especially if I'm getting in trouble and I ain't did nothing wrong. Please let me explain.
But
I did
by
not do
because
this.
you didn't even let you explain anything.
No.
You would just have to shut up, take the beating,
And
and just
get a whooping. And it's just like, eventually what kind of sparked the therapy was I did hit that rage of anger where I learned I had anger management and I actually fought my mom back. Not my proudest moment, but at that point I didn't know what else to do. You get what I'm saying? And that was my breaking point. And so yeah.
and how did therapy come into place?
I feel like it's still a work in progress. Of course, you're always gonna be working on things as you change, throughout the
No, no,
phases of your life.
and who said? Did your mom or did your
Oh, who initiated it? It
step?
was court. It was court order because that feud between me and my mom that evening got courts involved. Unfortunately, I went to juvie for a weekend,
Mm.
and as a result of going to court, that was what they appointed us. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like a chaotic thing. I wasn't like a bad child just getting in trouble on the weekends, getting stealing and going, you know what I mean? So it wasn't nothing to that extent, but it's just we couldn't afford that coming up, you know what I mean?
So
To
you
get those kind of resources.
so during that incident, you got arrested.
Yeah, my stepdaddy called the police. He got real African.
You are going to jail.
Do
No,
not
yeah.
pass go, none of that. Don't collect $200, none of that. Okay. And I sat in there for a whole weekend, so upset. Okay.
So did you regret your actions?
I definitely did. That's not something I would want to do, especially I was raised Christian, and I do believe, honor thy mother and father so that your day shall be long. You know what I mean? That's been drilled and drilled and drilled, and I solely believe that. I've seen people disrespect their parents, and either one of the two are gone. Either the parent is gone, or the child's life is gone at a young age. And so I strongly believe in that. And me and my mom have grown so much since then. We've talked and talked and talked so much because now we have that communication that we didn't used to have. You know what I mean? So
So when it was
it's
court,
official.
right? Was that
Mhm.
something you wanted to do in the beginning, or you was like, I don't want to do this?
With the therapy,
Yeah.
at first I was a little resistant, of course, but essentially it felt good to talk and somebody listen to me. You know what I'm saying? It felt good to be heard. So I got over that real quick, and was able to work through a lot of my issues. And now I think communicating is one of my favorite things to do. Is just something I even like doing on this app, controversial conversations, different opinions, things like that. So even to this day, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was a great aspect added to my life. So yeah.
Is it safe to say that's actually when you found your voice?
Um, I say that was a start.
Okay.
Like I said, that's more so developed as I mature, seeing who I am and who I want it to be. But yeah, that's where it started more so. And just over the years, I've just come more and more out my shell. So
Were
yeah.
you able to determine the source of the anger? Was it part of the fact that when you tried to explain yourself to your mom, she wasn't listening? Is that where it kind of stemmed from, or was it deeper than that?
I feel like it's a little bit of separation anxiety in a sense. Like I said, I mentioned the siblings, it's a form of acting out from that, the relocating from Chicago. Not once did we have any kind of grounding or, with kids. Kids need stability. We moved around a lot
Right.
as a child. So I feel like all of that just misplaced feelings and emotions is how I know how to express it just from seeing in my surroundings. My dad was abusive, coming up. And
Yeah.
so just
Your
different
dad.
times. Huh?
Okay.
Your real dad?
My real dad, yeah.
Okay.
He was abusive coming up, and that was part of the reason why, my parents separated. So, that's just what I knew, how to express yourself through anger. And the same thing coming from my mom. If we do something wrong, we get a whooping.
That,
So, there's no form of communication there. So, yeah.
okay, that makes sense. All right. So I know you said that therapy is still kind of like a work in progress for you, and because as we evolve, right, there are different things that come up that we may possibly need to address. Now, in the African American community, we all look at therapy as a negative. So, what would you say to someone who is struggling with the idea of seeking therapy?
Go to therapy. Like, it's no negative annotation. Those people are there to help you at the end of the day. Like, they're there to listen to you and help you with tools to better your life. They could be trying to better theirs
Right.
essentially, but someone took up a whole profession to help you, so
Right.
why not?
What did you learn from the therapy?
Like I said, I learned coping mechanisms when I am upset. Learning not to bottle things up, learning how to effectively communicate when I am having an issue. Something I still struggle with because sometimes I do avoid conflict, even to this day. I don't really care for it too much. I wait for somebody to come to me before, what I'm saying? But essentially, I would not go, into that. So I feel like it's allowed me to have more of a backbone or stand for something, you know what I mean, opposed to what I was used to as a kid, just being told what to do by this person, that person. So
Got you. And you said it helped the therapy helped you and your mom's relationship. What did you start seeing as far as the difference in you and as far as the difference in your mom where you felt like, dang, therapy helped this?
well, from that point on, she never put a hand on me ever again. And our point of, reprimand was taking things away from me that I would like the phone. Okay, opposed to giving me a whooping or trying to do that. It was different forms of discipline, number one, which essentially made me more receptive of the message. Because, you put your hands on me, I'm shut down and just get upset. So that was more effective for us. And I felt like just keeping that going as I got older to leaving the house, it just has gotten better throughout the years, especially me
Like
as
what
an
took
adult.
from you, it allowed you to do the things she wanted you to do and to be more.
Understood on my part, you know what I mean? Because although I'm a child, I know I ain't paying no bills. That doesn't mean that what I want for myself or what I might like is just unimportant. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wouldn't want that to be installed in my future children. You know what I mean? To not have a voice. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? If you know something's not right or you didn't do nothing, don't speak up. What? No.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we both learned some valuable things from that.
So,
And she
just for
learned,
clarity, you said her reprimanding you by taking away things registered more than a beating.
yes,
Okay.
definitely. Because, like I said, I'm
That,
more of
that
a
Caribbean
verbal
beating used to register.
communicator.
My mom used to beat that ass.
Right.
I'm like, got it. You don't want me to fuck up no more. I got it. I got it.
Right.
Kids take things from them now. They're like,
Right.
Oh my god.
my cousin's phone. Like, but so let me ask you this now, right? You said during that time you wasn't even thinking about boys, you was just smoking, doing you, but it wasn't boys. And your sister had babies at young ages, and your mom just thought you was gonna be like your sister, but you wasn't really like your sister. When did you start looking at boys or had your first boyfriend?
Honestly, it was brought on from getting all them weapons. So, okay, peep this. Freshman year of high school, right? I'm just getting to high school. I joined the club, wrestling team manager. So I don't know if you ever been a
Ooh.
manager for any team, but it's not fun. We in funky rooms washing dirty clothes, chasing up behind wrestlers. My mama thought I was out. Those meets can last for a long time. We going out to different counties for the wrestling matches, and she literally thought that I was just out hanging out in the streets, hanging with boys. And so me keep on getting in trouble for it naturally. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna keep getting a whooping, I might as well, be enjoying myself out here for real. So I'd say shortly after my 10th grade years, when I started escalating and acting out more, you know what I mean? That's when I started talking to boys that following year. And then a little bit later, that following year is when all of those things happened with the therapy and all of that stuff.
Got you. So that was around. So did you had a boyfriend in the 10th grade?
I had boys I liked. You know what I mean? I didn't really have my first serious boyfriend until right after high school.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep,
through
I didn't
years
have
of
any serious boys.
history, or junior high school, you didn't have an actual boyfriend?
I wasn't even looking at a boy, thinking about a boy, none of that kind of stuff. Not until about 10th grade of high school. I was not thinking about, I was a tomboy, tom girl, whatever you want to call it. Me and my brother was like this. And if my brother see me talking to a boy, I was scared my brother's just going to lose his mind. Okay.
Got
So
you.
definitely not. No, thank you. So
So
yeah.
your brother was overprotective of you?
Oh yeah. He's
Was
a
your
Sagittarius. He's just a little crazy.
was your brother your in the house?
Definitely. I was his shadow. Literally, he taught me how to do everything from tying my shoe to riding my bike. In a lot of ways, he was like my father figure for me.
Got
The only male consistent testosterone in the house. And so my sister, she was just like, ugh, another girl. She ain't want nothing to do with me. But my brother just took me up on his swing like his little road dog. And so everything he did, I did play the game. We finna just go capture some random dogs and then go play with them and dig in the dirt. Yeah.
if you don't ask mommy asking, what is your sexuality?
Like, do I like girls and boys?
Yeah.
I like both of
Uh,
them.
I asked that because typically, like people who grow up as tomboys and have a guy figure, you're watching how he tells,
Right.
and that was me. My older
Hmm.
brother figure for me, and he pretty much raised me, right? And that's
Right.
ta-da, you know.
And
So,
so for me, I feel like the change was when I met my god sisters. I consider them my god sisters now, but we've been friends for like 15, 16 years as well,
mhm.
since high school. And they were the complete opposite. Super girly, got me into the makeup. And oh my God, this is what this is. This is a whole other world. Yes. The
Yeah,
nails, everything. And so if it wasn't for them, I probably would just be, just straight up on the girls. No, no
right.
cap. Because yeah, I was definitely headed down that road, hanging around my brother like that.
Got you. So now let's move forward. Let's move forward to when you did start liking boys. Your first relationship. How old were you in your very first relationship?
For my very first serious relationship, I was 18 years old.
Hmm.
Um, it's a person I knew prior to graduating high school. He was just a little bit older than me. He was like, no, thank you. I ain't finna chance it. No, no. And so we started actually seriously dating after I graduated and was finna turn 18. And yeah, he was like 23, something like that.
Hmm.
And I feel like essentially it was a great relationship. I mean, I married him. I ended up getting married.
You married him?
Yeah. So it moved a little fast. So let me rewind a little bit. Started dating him. Shortly after that, my mom and my stepdad started to split. So my mom was going to move back to home to Chicago. But I had my man. What? I ain't going nowhere. So naturally, we moved in together. Him and his family was a big part. And so we shacking up. We living together 3-4 years. Now it's like, okay, what's next? And so, yeah, we went and
So
got
you
married.
3 4 years before he proposed to you.
Before we actually got married, yeah.
Wow. No kids.
No kids. Mm-mm.
3 4 years, no kids. Wow. And you were living with his family.
Yeah.
Did y'all
Well,
get
at first we rented a part, like a room, out of a house. And then essentially we ended up moving in with his mom and his brother. They got an apartment, start building their credit up. And then after we got married, we moved off into our own apartment, but still very close to his mom. So
got you?
yeah.
Wow. So all right.
Yes. I
So
lived a lot.
so we typically get more in the details, but we all pressed for time. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
I want to ask you this: what was the rise of the relationship, and what was the fall?
Um,
So
the
clearly, one of
right,
the rises is y'all got married, right? What was
right.
something else that was dope that happened in the relationship?
Well, for one, he was the one man that showed me something different. At my age, I'm used to boys just interested in one thing, just trying to get some butt. And he was very sweet, romantic. He'd take me on dates regularly, you know what I mean, and showed me a different way of chivalry, opening doors, all those things. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my knight in shining armor.
Right.
But as I grew into adulthood myself, and learn what I actually like, what my interests actually are. With having my first boyfriend, I'm learning more about what I want in a person. And so for me, we started clashing because I was ready to have kids. It's like, hey, what we doing here? We'll be woo. And so, we just kind of distant, and we ended up separating from there. So yeah.
Now, what made y'all separate? Did he step out on you? Did you step out on him?
I did, you
Mm-hmm. You
know.
got out, huh? Uh-huh.
Huh? No, I mean I'm pretty honest. I'm transparent. I'm an open book. One of the greatest lessons I've ever had. Great person, just not at the right time for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like I had enough experience under my belt to even know how to accept love or let alone love
I
someone
would
else.
say that because you wouldn't. I mean, you only had one penis. Let's be honest. So you didn't know whether it's good or was it
Right.
this is out there and stuff. And not saying that's all of the relationship, but sometimes you do need to experience a little bit more than
Right.
that.
And essentially, it wasn't even the stepping out that was a highlight for me. It was more the me having to drive to follow some dreams in my life that I felt like got kind of placed to the side, by entering into that relationship, and me being a kid, not knowing how to effectively communicate. I didn't know what to do. I'm finna find my best way about it is, you know what I mean? I don't know. And that was my
What
choice,
was that best
unfortunately.
way up out of this?
Not the best way to step out. And it
Wh-
ended not good.
When did you decide to join the military?
Shortly after that, 9 months after that, to be exact. Hold on, wait, maybe a little. It was a little more than 9 months. I say maybe a year and 9 months after me and him separated. I tried with the person that I stepped out on, and he was a maniac. And so I moved back home to my family in Chicago. It's time for me to flee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And 9 months after living in Chicago, I fled from there, went to the army. I can't take it.
I I
So yeah.
feel it.
And that's
What was
that's
your
how
lowest
I got into that.
life?
Mhm.
What was your lowest moment in your life?
I would say just back to being that teenage girl again, feeling so lost, not having a voice, feeling like things were so low that I couldn't communicate, or, that I didn't have any other options to think about taking my life. You know what I mean? That's low, low. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was your greatest moment that you like when you think back at it, you like, damn, I'm proud of myself. I did that.
The military, for real, it's like a whole 360 point, proving to myself that I could do something that I always wanted to. I just got a little sidetracked. I was supposed to go into the military right out of high school. I did
Right.
ROTC in high school. So me getting into that marriage, just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna follow my man, and all my dreams just kind of went to the wayside. And so just being able to get in there, accomplish it, and make it through, because not everybody make it through. Okay, and not everybody does. Some people go through basic training and get kicked out, and can't even make it. Some people just get kicked out dishonorably. And so for me to go through those things, live out a dream that was once my mom's, because she was going to go into the military when she found out she was pregnant with my sister. So,
Mhm.
that it's like a full circle moment at that time. Oh, thank you, Yorkiana.
So Jazzy, guys, please begin to prepare your questions. Welcome to exclusive interviews. We are currently interviewing the iconic Jazzy, okay, but I know it's just Jazzy
Jazzy
Marie,
Marie.
period. We love a good Jazzy Marie. All right, if y'all got any questions, begin to prepare them, copy and paste. So get them ready right now, so that way we could get the ball rolling. So Jazzy, let me ask you this now: what stage of your life are you in right now?
Right now, I would say I'm in my growth and transition stage. I feel like it's always time for growth and transition. As long as I get breath in my body, so it's the time that I can be trying to work on something better myself. Right now, I love streaming. It is a big part of my life. I got some high aspirations on here, and I love networking, and I've met great people. But also, just in my personal life, building businesses and things of that nature. More passive income. That's where I'm
I
at.
feel you. I feel you. So we mentioned we're back to the app now where we was at in the beginning. You mentioned you got on this app. You was giving this app a try, and you did try with someone on here. Can you
Hmm.
how did that begin? Were you on stream? Were they streaming? Did you holler? Did he holler? Tell us a little bit
So
more.
we both were streamers, and I bumped into him. He was just another guy, like I just enjoyed watching their stream. Essentially, he hollered, it hit them DMs up on Instagram. And then we begun to talk from there, and it was consistent, regular for 6 months strong. We like, okay, we locked in, baby. We know woke up on the phone together. We done went to sleep on the phone together. We's married now, and so
That's
yeah.
pronounced.
Um, After we met and stuff, it was nice. It was a great, good interaction, essentially, and I was just throwing some nuggets out there just to see what things would look like if I was to relocate. You know, and when I got approved, and so yeah, I had to start planning them. I had them a decision to make. Okay, and so I chose to
And
move.
you moved with that person.
I got a little house here. Well, I didn't move with him. I got my home set up here, and we moved in together.
And how long were you guys together?
Together in person about 3 months before that thing went away. Yeah, he's a little cray cray.
Got you. So you guys were together for 3 months and then
That
living
was
together
it.
for 3 months. So that was a total waste.
I wouldn't think of it as a waste. I definitely already wanted to relocate. I feel like if it wasn't for that person, putting a little bit of fire up under me, I probably wouldn't have. I'm in a new area than I was. I'm closer to my friends and family to Georgia, you know what I mean? Which I
Yeah.
love that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And now I have more space, which I've been able to bring my mom down here as well and have even more family closer to me. So, made my lemons into lemonade, essentially.
Got you. All right. I want to finish this, so I'm going to move out while I'm still in
Okay.
because this is good. This is good, and thank you for understanding. So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. What was your take after everything? After you left, was it like business as usual for you? Did you take the downfall of that relationship hard?
Initially I did. Initially I did take the downfall of the relationship hard. But it didn't take me that long to recover. Um, it is what it is. I've been through a breakup before, so
All right.
um,
Do me a favor,
I
just answer that question one more time for me because you.
I was saying initially it was I took the relationship hard because I did relocate for a person. So naturally, that is just hard. You know what I mean? A big hit, being in an unfamiliar place with nobody that you know. But I'm pretty resilient. So I just took it as a learning lesson to be better. You know what I mean, and how I proceed. And I took it and dove back into my streaming actually, and it's made me a better streamer. Honestly.
Nice. Of a chance again with someone on.
Of course, I'm open to love. I would never make someone's past actions the next person's. You know what I'm saying? You're a whole clean slate. My hurt it didn't come from you, whatever the case is, I'm healed, that whole mantra. So, yeah, I'm always open to love. But, I am very selective. So that don't mean anybody just jump up in my DM. No, thank you. I will pick you. Hey,
So,
hi.
so you said when you got on the app, some streamers that you was sitting in Bop stream and stuff like that. Is that or is Bop like one of your favorite streamers, or who are your favorite streamers?
Right now, a few of my favorite streamers, of course, is gonna be my number one, A1 Thime, period. I've gotten a chance to learn a lot from him in a very short amount of time, and I'm like a sponge just soaking it in. Another person that's been helping me on the way is the infamous Pay Me, FU Pay Us. Hello. And Aquarian. She's been working a lot with me on my own content. She's very creative, and I appreciate her stance and helping me to bring my vision into play. So yeah, he froze, bro.
Got you. So you said I little bad signal. So the last person you said was, did you say after that?
So I said A1 Don, he's one of my favorite streamers because he's taught me a lot, and he got some fun games up in the stream. You know what I'm saying? He's taught me a lot about the streaming world in general. Pay me, he's like a royal goddaddy to me for sure. Just anything I need help with, you're like, why you ain't call me? Why you didn't tell me? He's always holding me accountable to stream and things like that. And then Aquarian, she's helped me and making my own content and visions come true, with my own stream. You know what I mean? She's very creative. Love that girl. She's been a big help with that.
Got you. Got you. I love that. I love that. So let me ask you a question. What are some mistakes you felt like you made in the beginning when you got on this app?
Being too trusting. And I'm a lover girl. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And on this app, people are on here for all different kinds of reasons. You know what I mean? It may be for a diamond. It may be for real connections, and you just never know. And so,
Right.
I could say I was a little gullible in a sense coming on here, Green.
Yep.
And I didn't know about other aspects of the app. So yeah.
So do you like you can you give us share a story to where you was green and like you felt like, dang, and I'm gonna do better next time. I ain't going.
um well, just essentially just limited myself to just that one circle that did generate from that relationship. I didn't really move outside of it. You know what I mean? I didn't network. I didn't know was any more to learn. And I feel like that was really green of me. You know what I mean? This is a whole app, and I'm just locked into these people's stream. And sometimes that's exactly where people want you, not growing or right in their little congregation of growth for themselves. And for me, I was stagnant. I wasn't moving outside of it. And so that's something I feel like I've learned, just, having more knowledge coming into being a streamer again. Like I ain't making other kind of mistakes now.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you got any questions for Jazzy, please ask your questions right now. Y'all put those questions in the comments or hit the plus sign coming as a guest, y'all, and ask your questions to Jazzy. Jazzy, what is your biggest life lesson and what has it taught you?
My biggest life lesson. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Just the first thing that comes to my mind is just keep an open heart. Never let your past situation scar you for your future. Just let go of some dead weight. And what has that taught me? It's taught me that I'm resilient. I've been through some crazy things, but I'm still here, and I just keep getting better and better and better as much as I want to.
I love that. I love that for real, Jazzy. I love that for you. Any questions from the comments? Put them in the put them in the comments right now. Any questions? Type them out right now, y'all. Y'all don't got no question for Jazzy. I'm gonna let her up out of here. No
Period.
doubt. She's trying to give the audience a chance to ask their questions.
Definitely. Well, I thank you for having me roll. I do just want to plug in a couple things.
I was about to say, is there anything you wanna?
Right. So I do have I got some things just today, but my biggest thing is come to my Millie party this Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m. Please, guys. This is my first event that will be hosting. So it's the first one I've celebrated. Definitely pull up for that. And I will be speaking at Rican Vic's town hall and playing afterwards in his freaking Rican. So that'll be fun as well. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all right now.
Got you, got. And Donna, I know you have a question for her.
Yes, I'm sorry. We a little late for an appointment, but I wanted to ask you. I typically end the show by asking everyone, how did it feel opening up to myself, role in the audience?
It was a pleasure. For one, Ro, I be coming to your shows. It was a pleasure to finally officially meet you guys and not just be a lurker in the comments. So it was amazing. I thank you guys for even considering me to be on this show. You know what I mean? Allowing me to share my story.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
She said
Of
perfect.
course.
You can hear her, but I wanna thank you too, like for definitely doing the show and being on time because I was sometimes we be afraid the second person gonna be on time or not and stuff. So I'm like, we might not be able to do it, but you was here from the first one, so we do
Right.
appreciate that, y'all. Please do me a favor, y'all. Show Jazzy some love, okay? Whether it's you favoriting her, if you don't have a fave, make sure you hit her with a favorite right now, okay? We love to help people get all the favorites that they require, so that way they can reach the next level of success on this streaming platform and even off this platform, y'all. And if y'all got any love to show her, please show us some love right now. It looks like there's no questions from the audience. Jazzy will be in her fur baby auction on July 27th, y'all. July
That
27th, her
indeed.
fur baby auction. Is that like a dog or a pet or something like that?
Yes,
Auction?
it's still little fur babies, and I have my little pride and joy, my little Bella here. I don't have any kids, so that's like my child, my shadow. So yes, so excited. We coming in matching outfits, y'all.
Yeah. Jazzy, so much, y'all. I appreciate you, Jazzy. Y'all, can y'all put those clapping hands in the comments? I don't have my applause right now, but I am clapping. Uh,
I got you, roll.
so much, Jazzy. Appreciate it.
Of course. Later, you guys.
Later,
Thank
Jazzy. Y'all
you.
give it up
Thank
for
you. Thank
Jazzy.
you.
Give it up for Jazzy, y'all. Give it up for yourselves in the audience, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us for exclusive interview. If you would like to be part of exclusive interview, I Medusa. And by the way, if y'all see Medusa in these streets, tell him happy birthday. Today is his birthday. I'm about to call him right now as soon as I hang up with y'all. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna stay on the phone with y'all. So y'all can scream happy birthday and I can show him the comments real quick. Let me see. Let me call this guy and say happy birthday. Should I sing him? Should I sing him a birthday song?